Welcome to Sync to Sync TV, brought to you courtesy of First Ave Entertainment. I am your host, B. Today, we have an amazing show lined up for you. Yep, we have some community pioneers in the building. We have the current principal of the Miami Northwestern Senior High School, Mr. Wallace Aristide, in the building, as well as the Village Fridge CEO and founder, Sherina. You guys stick and stay. We have an awesome show lined up for you today. I'm your host, B. If you want more information about us, please log in to www.sync2synctv.com. Also, our Twitter and Instagram handles are at Sync2SyncTV. I can be located on Instagram at BLongChamp. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Bigging up Sing So Sing.
This is the hottest show in the world right now.
Même les où on tort, c'est moi-même qui m'en dois pardon.
Bye bye, au revoir. Va, va, va.
Elephant Man represent
5 sur 5 TV.
They gave me nothing.
Okay, so, itching already. One of the signs.
I'm telling you, I was amazed when some of the things you were saying.
I'm a shorty that's deep in love. Makes me believe. Woo, child, we talking about 2001, 2002. I'ma show them otherwise. Man, I do me.
Has anyone seen that booty?
I'm pleasing him in music.
I'm happy to be here. I know you are.
Together we rule the world.
When I make music, I don't make it for me.
I always sing 1 or 2 songs as a drummer.
Welcome back to Sync to Sync TV family. We are here with Mr. Wallace Aristide, the current principal of the Miami Northwestern Senior High School. How are you doing today?
Well, I want to thank you, first of all, for allowing me to come on this show, Sync to Sync TV. I mean, just the excitement, the energy, what I see out here today just has got me uplifted. So thank you for allowing me to be here.
You're quite welcome. Your family, once you get on this show one time, that's all it takes. So we are here to talk about business, and we see the transformation that you have done at Miami Northwestern Senior High School. As you guys know, I am one of the alumni of Miami Northwestern. Yes. And the hand that you've played and the role that you continue to play at Northwestern, listen, we are elated, to say the least.
Thank you.
So how has it been, your journey at Northwestern and in education?
Well, my journey started 30-some years ago. Something happened to me. I wasn't sure I wanted to be an educator. I was trying to go to law school and finish law school, look at being an attorney. But I started working at a place called Dade Intensive Control Treatment Program. And there was a young man that we work with. It's a 45-day program. You come in and you leave in 45 days. And the mom was sad. She was upset. She just felt that she was going to lose her son. So we worked with him 45 days. He leaves the program. Then the mom comes one day and says, Miss Harris, I don't know what you did to my son. I'm thinking something bad or something tragic happened to this young man. I said, Miss Harris, he's changed his life. He's off the drugs. Awesome. It was a life-changing event, the relationship we built while he was there with me. So I said, you know what? I like working with young people. So I started working with young people. I started as a substitute teacher, and I noticed every time I go to a class, the principal, assistant principal would come and see, is he safe? Is he all right? And everything was okay every time I went. And it just seemed like young people listened to me. Awesome. It just seemed like young people followed me. Awesome. And that's how my career started as an educator. I've been at Miami Northwestern right now as principal 10 years.
Wow.
14 years altogether. I was assistant principal there for 4 years. And I've seen a transformation happen at Miami Northwestern. When I say a transformation, you walk into a school where there were so many challenges, grades were failing, students were not doing as well as they should do, and now to see the students engaged, involved, committed to education excellence, to see students come in there and commit to getting scholarship money. We've had $10 million in scholarship money.
Amazing.
Mostly academic. When I walked in, there was mostly all sports.
That's important.
So it's been it has been quite a journey, one that I continue to love, one that I continue to appreciate.
Awesome. And we know where Miami Northwestern is situated. It's in the heart, of Liberty City. And oftentimes I like to talk about Miami Northwestern as a hidden gem. It is definitely a hidden gem. But you have not only played a pivotal role in transforming Miami Northwestern, but you have your hand in the community as well. Talk about stakeholders. You have placed yourself in a position where you're able to reach out to people in the community who are then, reciprocating that same energy. Let's talk about that.
Well, let me just talk about stakeholders. I thought it was big for us when we got to Miami Northwestern. You had alums, people that graduated, and for whatever reason, they decided to get on board. They decided to be supportive, and they've been very supportive of me. The parents, they were very supportive. I thought I was going to be principal maybe 5 years, because remember now, you're in the heart of Liberty City.
Pretty much.
There are some very serious challenges there. Yes. But everybody joined in. Everybody honed in, and they began to help. And we built some partners. We work with a Key Biscayne program. We work with Karen Fry and so many others that come. They give donation. Hyman Brown Charitable Trust all the way from New York. These people give funding to help us do a better job at the school. I mean the superintendent, all those folks that are part of Dade County Public School, from the administrative ranks all the way to the board. Just the love from Dr. Bendros Mendengal and so many. The appreciation they show us, what they've done to allow us to do the work has been phenomenal.
The key thing, though, is the authenticity. When people see that you're authentic, they would then reciprocate that same energy. And it's something about being on top, right? People don't realize what the load entails and how much support that you need. And you have a lot of people that's on your side that's supporting you as well, right? Yes. We know that you're not the only person that's in the community that's helping out. We know that you have a strong woman on your side.
Oh, my gosh.
Right? Every step of the way, and also leading the pack at times, right?
Of course, of course.
Thanks to Sank. In a few, we'll be back. We have to represent the women. This is Women in History Month. Sick and Stay, www.sank2sank.tv is where you find information about us, and our Twitter, Instagram handles are at Sank2SankTV. We'll be right back.
Sank to Sank TV.
Healthcare workers and nurses are in high demand. Take your first step toward a medical career today at Ideal Professional Institute in Miami Gardens. With multiple programs available, you can become a patient care technician in just 9 months, a home health aide in under 1 month, an LPN in just a year. Ideal Professional Institute is licensed by the state of Florida, so register now. Call 305-653-7886.
Thanks to Tank family, we are back. I'm your host, B. We are here with Mr. Wallace Aristide, principal of Miami Northwestern Senior High School. I was just praising your wife.
Yes.
Let's talk about your wife.
Let me say this. She's amazing. I met her 23 years ago. The impact she's had on my life, the direction, the guidance that she's provided has been incredible. Yes. You're a principal. You get tired. You're tired up on the weekend. She drags me up out of bed. Listen, we got to go. And we've been doing it for years. At her church, she has the food drive. Nice. She gets me to go out there to support the food drive, to go out. I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. Mm-hmm. She is the vehicle that allowed me to make certain decisions that I'm making in my life. We're recognizing her this month because of the type of woman she is. She is a servant leader. She loves to serve the people. Let me tell you what she does. Every year, she goes to Haiti.
Nice.
And she feeds homeless children. She goes and she feeds prisoners. I mean, we've got a container at my house. This lady got me to buy a big container. She's got so much stuff.
Oh, that's
I mean,
amazing.
school supplies, you name it.
Oh, that's amazing.
But you got to fall in love with her because she shows so much love for her people here in Dade County, her family and friends and people she knows in Haiti. Yes. The passion this woman shows, that is the same passion I feel when I work with the community. Because of her, she's got me engaged, she got me to take ownership, and she got me to be very supportive of my community.
Amazing.
Yes.
So we love to see what you're doing now, but we know that you have a lot. You have a lot in store for us, right?
Yes, I do.
So we're transitioning into something major that we know that the community is really willing and ready to embrace you. What's that?
Well, I'm getting ready to run for County Commissioner, District 2, which covers North Miami Beach, Biscayne Gardens, Little River Farms. I got a little piece of Opelika, a little piece of Hialeah, a little piece of the city of Miami. We're getting ready to look at a Miami-Dade that works for everybody, not just those that have influence and access, but those that may not have influence or access.
Yes.
You're looking at somebody that has engaged his community for over 30 years. I'm looking to engage even more. This is an opportunity, I think, if we come together and we collaborate, we can make a difference. We can help people that want to be entrepreneurs, people that want to do something special in their community. We can work with them. We can provide them support. We can provide them assistance. So that's why we're running. We want to succeed with Aristide. That's our motto. Succeed with Aristide.
I like succeed with Aristide. I like that. I like that. It's a nice ring to it. So what exactly, because we know that it's a lot of trials and tribulations with COVID. There's been, we know politics can be a little bit, shaky, but what is it that you think that you're going to bring to the community that's a little bit different than what we've been experiencing?
Well, I'll say this. I'm not a politician. That's not what this is about. I consider myself, similar to what I mentioned to my wife, I consider myself as a servant leader. I'm coming to serve the community. I think there's some credibility. When you go into a school, a failing school, and you told everybody, listen, we're going to make the school an F, and they laughed you out the room.
Yeah.
How you going to make this F school an A school? How you going to do this, Mr. Aristide? They thought it was funny, but we did. We got credibility. We turned the school around. We made the school an A school. So if we say that a high tide raises all boats, if we can have a high tide in District 2, we can help uplift the whole Miami-Dade County. So that is what we're looking to do. Now, I'll give some basic examples, and I talk from a perspective that works. I'm a principal. Teacher come to me, a great teacher, brand new teacher. Mr. Principal, I'd love to stay and work at your school, but I can't. What's wrong? What happened? I can't afford the rent. It's too expensive. We're talking about workforce housing for a brand new teacher that can't afford, that's doing tremendous work. Somebody we call an essential employee. Something's got to be done. It shouldn't be that way. So I'm the brand new nurse. I'm somebody, I'm married, I'm single. How much overtime do I got to make? I'm a police officer. I got to work. I can't even enjoy the apartment I got to pay for. I'm a fireman. I can't pay for this apartment. So those become some of the challenges that we've got to help people in Miami-Dade. We've got to help people with affordability. So I'll give you another example. And I talk about seniors. I'm a senior. I may not know what exemptions that might be out there. I need to be educated so I don't lose my home. I've been paying for my house 30 or 40 years. I'm looking to be put out. Somebody's paying the taxes because I'm on a fixed income. I can't afford the tax. Somebody's paying it for me. And they come and say, ma'am, Mr. Senior, you got to leave. We're going to take the house from you. Those kind of things we can't support. Miami-Dade's got to work for everybody, from children to adults to seniors. It's got to work for all of us.
Love it. Succeed with Aristide. Thanks, Tank. We'll be back.
Big up, sing, so sing.
This is the hottest show in the world right now.
Même les où on tort, c'est moi-même qui m'en dois pardon.
Bye bye, au revoir. Va, va, va.
Elephant Man represent.
5 sur 5 TV.
They gave me nothing.
Okay, so, itching already. One of the signs.
I'm telling you, I was amazed when some of the things you were saying.
I'm a shorty that's deep in love. Makes me believe. Woo, child, we talking about 2001, 2002. I'ma show them otherwise. Man, I do me.
Has anyone seen that booty?
I'm pleasing him in music.
I'm happy to be here. I know you are.
Together we rule the world.
When I make music, I don't make it for me. I always sing 1 or 2 songs as a drummer.
Sex to Sink family, we are back. I'm your host, B, sitting here and chopping it up with Mr. Wallace Aristide, the principal of Miami Northwestern Senior High School. Let's talk about mom. Listen.
Let me say this thing. I'm so glad you mentioned her. I know everywhere I go, I talk about her. If it's not for her, Wallace Aristide is not doing what he's doing. One of the things I will mention about my mom, she told you the same thing every day. She never gave up. So I always encourage teachers and people that work with young people, don't give up. She never gave up on me. So a child will see me, and I tell that child the same thing every day because of my mom. And I want to say this to your viewers and people that's watching. When I say this lady's special and we're celebrating Women's History Month, this lady came to Miami-Dade County, and she didn't have the right accent. She's from Port-au-Prince, Haiti. She went to Nassau, Bahamas, came to Nassau, came here, and she had a hard time finding a job, hard time finding employment. She's like, listen, I'm going to buy and sell stuff. So she does something, and maybe some of our listeners can relate to it. They call it pepe.
Yes.
So you buy stuff, you buy the pepe, and you bring the pepe, and you sell the pepe.
Yes.
So that's what my mom did. So people would laugh, would ridicule, would make comments when they come to our house. They thought we were Sanford and Son. Back in the 70s, Sanford and Son was the most popular show. Right. So we got a bunch of junk at the house, so they laugh at you. We didn't have no hot water at the house. You got to boil the water, mix it with the cold water. That's how you take a bath. We didn't have those luxuries. There was no AC at the house. We did not have any AC at our house. I remember you take the buggy, and they call it in the Bahamas, they call it a Charlie. So you take the little buggy with the clothes, and you got to go wash it, and you're looking around, you're hoping none of your friends see you, because some of the things that you're facing, some of the challenges you're facing in your life, and other people may not face that. That's why I understand when people are having difficulties. That's why I understand that student that may be homeless, that parent that walks in the office, Miss Aristide, we ain't got no place to stay. Now you got to make phone calls, try to help that parent.
Right.
That those folks that don't have any food, or they can't eat, or there's some food insecurity. You got to find a way to help those type of people. Those people that can't pay the bill. So that's one of the reasons we did the partnerships. We do partnerships with people so we can help those people in our community. So this is what this is all about, and it started from a woman, a mom that showed you so much love, so much compassion. You know, when we grew up, we thought it was funny. Mom get visitors, get people from Haiti, people from New York, Boston, the Bahamas, you name it.
Coming.
Everybody coming. And then they put you in the living room, and you're like, these people must not like me. Why they getting these people in my bedroom, and they got me in the living room? Right. And when I said amazing, my dad, very similar. That guy, Ernest Aristide, he was, he was somebody, he brought in family. He brought in friends. He brought in neighbors. He changed people's lives around, because those people now, they've got grandchildren, they've got children that are success in the community, because one guy came here in the late 50s, Ernest Aristide, and made a difference for all his family members. So I've always learned. Oh, yes. I've learned from the very beginning to be a servant, to serve people, because my parents, both of them were servants.
Amazing. Listen, we can't thank you enough for everything that you've done for us and what you continue to do, especially the role that you play at Miami Northwestern Senior High School. We can't thank your wife enough for what she does for the community and continues to do. And thank you so much for coming here to Sex to Sink TV. What are your last words and thoughts for our viewers?
Well, I would like to say this to the people in Sex to Sink TV. If you know anybody in District 2, please reach out to him. Tell him you met Wallace Aristide. You saw him on Sex to Sink TV. He wants to make a difference. Help me. Let's make a difference together. This campaign is a grassroots campaign. We're reaching out to everybody in the community. We need you to help us, to be engaged. Help Linda and I, so we can make things better for all the people that live in the areas that I mentioned today. You can find us. We're on Facebook, Wallace, W-A-L-L-A-C-E, Aristide, A-R-I-S-T-I-D-E. You'll find our website, www.wallacearistide.com. Let's connect. Let's come together. Let's do something special in Miami-Dade. And I leave you with something big when you talk about succeed with Wallace Aristide. I go to North Miami High School, the first Haitian-American, first black football coach at North Miami Senior High School. I go to Bethune-Cookman University, first Haitian-American to go there. Made All-American, All-MEAC right there.
Awesome.
This is the example that our young people need to see. And you got Ishmael Aristide at the University of Miami, outside linebacker coach. That's my son. You go, boy. You go, Ishmael.
I'm a U alumni too.
The U.
You guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Succeed with Aristide. Succeed with Aristide. If you want more information about Wallace Aristide, you can also log on to www.sync2sync.tv.com. Also on Twitter and Instagram at Sync2SyncTV. Again, it's been a pleasure. Succeed with Aristide.
Succeed with Aristide. Thanks to Sync TV.
Thanks to Sync family. We are back. We're here with Sherina, the CEO and owner of Village Fridge. Welcome to Thanks to Sync TV.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Listen, you are doing amazing things, and I appreciate the fact that you are putting your, it's all action.
Yes.
And you are utilizing your resources around the community to assist people in need. Let's talk about it.
Well, Village Fridge started when the pandemic hit us really hard, and a lot of families were having a hard time keeping food on the table. So it was something very small. I didn't expect to turn into anything. I asked my cousin and his business partner, owners of Root Collective, could I put a community refrigerator in front of their business? And I put my first refrigerator out August of 2020, and it just took off like wildfire. And I was like, this is not what I expected.
Wait, so let's back up. So we know the pandemic hit, and we know the struggle was real and continued to be real, right?
Yes.
So you decided to just get a regular deep fridge or a deep freezer?
A regular home refrigerator.
A regular home refrigerator, and place it in the business of your cousin?
Yes, my cousin Isaiah Thomas. He's the owner and co-founder of Roots Collective. So I asked him and his business partner Danny Agnew, and they were on board. So they was like, let's do it and just see what happens.
Okay, so how did people know, okay, let's go to this fridge if I'm in need?
I put flyers on the bus benches all in the area. So I did a canvas and I put it in mailboxes, and they just started coming.
Nice. Okay, so how does this work? So how were you able to get the food into the fridge? And let's talk about it, because some people, the reason why I'm going into details with it, because sometimes we overthink things. We know that we can help, but then we start to, I guess, psych ourselves out, and we think this is too much work, or I can't do it, I don't have the resources. So I want to break it down so that people can see that it is feasible for us to really help in the community however we can. So let's talk about this.
Okay, I went to a refrigerator repair shop, and I purchased my first refrigerator for $200.
Wow.
And then we just plugged it up outside of the business, and we ran an extension cord, of course, so that it can't be taken away. So we put it out there, and we put a Cash App up, letting everyone know that what we're going to do, and they started sending funds for the groceries, and we got the money for our first round of groceries, and we stocked the refrigerator.
Nice. So the Cash App information on Instagram, or was it all on the paper trail?
It was
in the community.
It was on Instagram.
Nice. Okay, I'm super excited. The reason why I'm super excited, not only are you, listen, I'm just going to be really transparent. You're an African-American woman who probably, have your own obstacles and trials and tribulations that you're facing, but to just separate yourself from your own, you know, whatever it is that you got going on, and to give of yourself. This is an amazing, amazing thing that you're doing for the community.
Thank you so much. And at the time when I started the community refrigerator, my business was closed because it was deemed non-essential. So I was still trying to find a way to help these people, even though I needed help at the time. So
what was your business?
I'm an esthetician, eyelashes, skincare, and body waxing. So.
Wow, amazing. But I'm pretty sure it's come back tenfold.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about serving the community in more detail in just a minute. We're here with Sherina, community pioneer, CEO of Village Fridge. We'll be right back.
Bigging up Sing So Sing.
This is the hottest show in the world right now.
Même les où on tord, c'est moi-même qui m'en dois pardon.
Bye bye, au revoir.
Va, va, va.
Elephant Man represent.
5 sur 5 TV.
They gave me nothing.
Okay, so, itching already. One of the signs.
I'm telling you, I was amazed when some of the things you were saying.
I'm a shorty that's deep in love. Makes me believe. Woo, child, we talking about 2001, 2002. I'ma show them otherwise. Man, I do me.
Has anyone seen that booty?
I'm pleasing him in music. I'm happy to be here.
I know you are.
Together we rule the world.
When I make music, I don't make it for me.
I always sing 1 or 2 songs as a drummer.
Thanks for saying, family. We are back. We are here with Sherina, owner and CEO of Village Fridge. Listen, you are such an inspiration. You have your own issues going on, but you keep trucking, you keep the course, you stay the journey, and continue. And what I'm pretty much thinking that this is something that you didn't even know was going to happen, but you were blessed and ordained to do, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's back up. As far as obstacles you've overcome, what are some of the obstacles you've overcome along the path, along this journey?
Along this journey, I mean, keeping food stocked there, keeping the funds rolling in, just the support to keep the day-to-day transactions happening. Because remember, our location on 54th and 7th Avenue, it started as just a refrigerator, but now we have transitioned into a community pantry because we're feeding over 150 families and individuals every day. So I have to kind of control the traffic of the refrigerator so that everyone is fed every day.
So who do you have on your team? Do you have a team now? Have you generated? Okay.
Yes, I basically have formed a team of volunteers. Okay. They started out as people that was coming to get food, and they seen how much the crowd was going. It was like, could I help you every day?
Nice.
And I'm like, of course. So now they just show up and they love being a part of what I do every day.
So this is what you do full time now? Have you transitioned into your other day?
I had to create a schedule.
Okay. Because I'm like, how do you balance this? Because I'm sure the word is out now.
Yes.
So you still have the one fridge, or
I have 3 locations now.
Wow. Okay. Where are the other 2?
I have one in Opelika, and I have one off 103rd and 27th Avenue.
Nice. And those the same thing. You have people coming in. You have a team of people assisting you.
Those refrigerators are just stocked 2 times a day.
Okay.
The 54th has so much traffic because that location is a food desert. So those people have a hard time getting to grocery stores because of their situations. They're already catching hard times. They don't have cars. Their only transportation they have is the bus, bicycle, or walking. So that location has such heavy traffic because of the demographics of that area.
Wow. So listen, we need to help Thanks for Saying family. Where do we contact you? Where's the Cash App information? How do we help and assist any way that we can?
Well, we have a website, www.villagefridge.com, and we have a tab that says more ways to help the village. And there you could become a weekly, monthly, or just a one-time donor. And you could stop by the village at 5507 Northwest 7th Avenue to drop off any donations that you feel the need to drop off to us. And we'll be greatly appreciative for anything that you guys bring.
So it's just food?
Just food.
Okay. So let's get that. Listen, just food, no clothes, no other essentials, just food.
Food, and we accept hygiene products.
Okay.
And some of the people, because of the relocation of the things that's happening downtown, they're destroying their tents and some of their clothes. So they're coming back asking for things that they could sleep in, like tents, gently used clothes, because some of them come with no shoes on their feet, sometimes no shirts on their back. So we're trying our best to try to cover every need, but not be overwhelmed.
You're such a blessing.
Thank you.
Do you have, as far as your family is concerned, are they on board?
Yes, from day one.
Okay.
That's how we formed the village, from my village to the village. My family has been in the community for years. My aunt has been serving the community in Opelika. She has Teen Upward Bound, where she has after school.
Teen Upward Bound?
Yes, she has an after school program. So she's serving the city of Opelika. So this is what we have been doing. So it's just branching out and just watching my family do it over the years, and it's just a vessel of them.
This is amazing. You
Thank
guys,
you.
please be sure to assist Sherina and everything that she's doing in the community.
Thank you.
Village Fridge. Give us that information one more time.
www.villagefridge.com, and you can follow us on Instagram at Village Fridge as well to watch our day-to-day interactions with the community.
There you go, Sync to Sync. We'll be right back. Family, we are back. We are speaking with Sherina, founder, CEO of Village Fridge. So with every good news, right, and great news, there's always like someone who tries to throw a monkey wrench and tries to, like, I guess, mess up the positivity and the great things that are coming from this. So what happened?
Yes, outside of all the good things, fridges were stolen from 2 locations. I placed the fridge over town, and within not even a couple of hours, that when sun was down, the fridge was stolen. So I'm like, oh God.
With all this content.
With all the contents inside. But guess what? I came back. I put another one out there. I bolted it. Same location, and I bolted it to the ground.
It to the ground.
Yes.
There you have it.
So, and then right before our Thanksgiving Drive turkey giveaway, our location on 54th and 7th Avenue, that refrigerator was stolen. I just left at 6:30, stocking the refrigerator. The guys went by because they were doing all the prepping for the next day, and they're like, Rena, the refrigerator isn't outside. And I'm like,
wow.
What do you mean? I just left. So they FaceTimed me, and all I seen was the wooden board that we sit the refrigerator on, and I just started crying, like, what the freak? Like, we have a big event the next day. The refrigerator is the center of it all. How is the refrigerator going to be gone? So we still move forward. We had the Turkey Drive giveaway. Of course, that night, the village members, they were asking them, like, did you guys take the refrigerator away? Did we do something bad? They were asking questions what happened. And, of course, when we told them the news, they were upset about what happened. Like, why would someone do something when you guys are trying to help us?
Right.
But now they police and they patrol the refrigerator. So
That's good.
we don't have any
Did you
issues.
bolt that one down too?
We build them now. We build them inside wooden cages so that we have pantries so that we could stock dry goods on the outside, cold things on the inside.
So there's no one that's guarding the refrigerator. Anyone could just come and take whatever they want?
Yes, 24/7.
Wow. So there's no limit. So if someone, okay, interesting.
You just have to pray that people, you know,
are honest
and have a
The
good
irony
heart.
in that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at Sync to Sync TV. Again, Sync to Sync family, please feel free to assist any way that you possibly can. Village Fridge. This is Sherina. Thank you so much for all that you do, and please continue to do great work. Listen, whatever it is that you're doing, it's going to come back tenfold anyway.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me. It's a pleasure. And I thank you guys for having me here to bring more light to the initiative.
Awesome. Sync to Sync family, it's been a pleasure. You guys, we're almost there. It looks like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. The COVID numbers are down. Guys, just stick and stay. Keep doing what you're doing. Wear your mask, washing your hands, 6 feet away.
Yes.
Listen, we're going to get through this. If you want more information about us, log on to www.synctosynctv.com. We had the pleasure today of speaking with Wallace Aristide. He is the current principal of Miami Northwestern Senior High School. You guys, you got to succeed with Aristide. We also had the pleasure of speaking with Sherina. She is the founder and CEO of Village Fridge. You guys be sure to show them love any way that you possibly can. Till next time, I'm B. LONGCHAMP.